This is the video I did not want to make. When I first started this channel, I wrote a lot of scripts, and there were three in particular. The first one was called Thank You 5e, and the second was called Let the Dragon Sleep, and the third was titled I Hate 5th Edition, I'm Glad I Got That Off My Chest. All of them, they were a sarcastic homage to a game that died in 2014. And since my channel's been going for a while now, I am more comfortable saying this out loud. Because a YouTube channel I respect made a similar video, Dungeons and Dyslexia, posted a video about 10 reasons he will never play 5e again. Link in the description, and I concur. And the rest of this video is a summary of those previous three scripts. For over a decade, this mighty beast has ruled our tabletops. It clawed its way into pop culture, and it exhumed old modules from the crypt. It dragged millions of brand new players into the world of swords and sorcery and spreadsheets. Dungeons and Dragons 5th Edition, we laughed with it, and we cried with it, we screamed at it for not having decent crafting system, or we argued about grappling for far too long, but I don't really know why. It was the king of the hobby, no question, and arguably it still is in a lot of ways. But after all this time, it's time to face something a lot of people don't want to face. They don't want to say it out loud. 5e is obsolete. I am not saying it's bad. I am saying it's tired. I'm saying it's bloated. Don't throw your keyboard at me. Relax. I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm offering you something better. Let's start with the part everyone dances around, the rules. Why advantage or disadvantage is the answer to 99% of the design. Why does jumping need a spreadsheet? And why does exhaustion feel like it was written in a gas station bathroom at 3 o'clock in the morning? 5e promised to be simple, and for a minute it was, and then came the exceptions, the optional rule. Then came the books to patch the problems, and then more books to patch the problems that those patches caused, and it's just broken, man. A game at its core shouldn't take 1,200 pages of this size, what, 8.5 by 11, it shouldn't take 1,200 pages to play. It's stupid. Am I wrong for saying that? Are you an accountant? I'd expect there to be 1,200 pages of tax law. Have you ever played with somebody who insists on every rule being followed as written? Did that feel like a game or like a performance review? A test of knowledge? Well, I know this rule on page 238 of the PHP. What about it? Who cares? Most people know quietly that 5e is not broken, it's just incoherent. It's like a quilt made of sacred cows that half-remembered designer notes somehow became the most popular RPG in the world. How did that even happen? It became that because it got carried in on the shoulders of previous editions. Remember when classes were just classes? You picked fighter, you were a fighter. It was honest, sturdy. No one needed a freaking flowchart. And now you have subclasses with subclasses, feats attached to backgrounds, attached to optional rule books, attached to, dev tweets from 6 years ago. Every new book has to one-up the previous, passing it off to you like that's a part of their game design. But it's really just a treadmill business. The result is a party where one character was balanced for 2014 and another was balanced for last Tuesday, and you have to pretend that they belong on the same battlefield. Oh, by the way, congratulations, DMs. More prep, more math, more stress, less joy for us all. It's the weirdest thing. The longer you run 5e, the more you're rewarded with extra homework. The truth of it, that might sting you if you let it get close. 5e can tell stories, but it's not built for storytelling. It's a combat engine wearing a narrative costume. It's a dinosaur in cosplay, okay? Meanwhile, the newer wave of indie games are doing something different. they start with fiction. And they let the mechanics get out of the way. Shadowdark, Deathbringer, systems where danger matters and time matters, where darkness matters. You don't need a binder full of subclasses to feel like your choices carry weight. These games ask one question: what would happen next? Not which optional rule table are we rolling on, or not in which page did Tasha fix the mistake, you know? Modern play left the old chassis behind, and 5e never noticed. Let's talk about the mind flayer in the boardroom, okay? Wizards of the Coast is not the company from the era of early 5e. This is Hasbro. This is shareholder decks and quarterly expectations. Digital ecosystems. This is the entirety of the OGL fiasco. And locking dice behind logins, this is turning your table into something that smells a lot like an app store. And I'm not even mad for them chasing a profit. I mean, companies chase profits. I own a company. I need profits. But you don't have to follow the company into the cage. You don't owe Wizards anything. The only persons you owe anything to is your table, and you owe them everything. This hobby wasn't built on microtransactions. It was built on imagination, scrap paper, and players who showed up every week because the story mattered. And somewhere along the way, the official product line drifted in a different direction. So what now? This is the part where people expect anger. I don't really have any anger. I'm not telling you to burn your books. Your campaign is just as meaningful as mine. I'm asking a simple question. Are you still playing this game because it's the best one for you? Or is it because it's the only one you really know? Are you still having fun, or are you just stuck in a nostalgia loop, hoping that the next Unearthed Arcana finally fixes that thing that's been broken since the Obama administration? If you're still having fun, keep having fun. Seriously, no sarcasm, sincere. But if you're tired and you're overwhelmed, if you feel like every year adds more rules that you never asked for, then it might be time to step away from the treadmill. There are other games, other voices, other designers, building systems for the style of play that you've been dreaming about. And let yourself be curious again to go out and find that. I don't want to murder 5e. It's about mercy, and it's about letting the tired giant rest. 5e served us well. It got us through the dark times. It brought new players to the table. It gave us modules. It gave us friends and stories, and some of us will tell those for the rest of our lives, but the forge has gone cold. We're hammering on the same blade again and again, hoping it becomes something new, but it won't. The dragon is old. Let it sleep. Let it keep the treasure. Let it guard the memories. Let it rest with honor instead of being dragged through one more cycle designed by somebody else in a meeting who never actually played. To 5th edition, thank you. You showed us the door. And a lot of us are walking through it. To everyone watching, do not wait for permission. You already have it. Find a system that matches the game you want to play or run, and play the way your table wants. You owe no one your own inertia. Let the dragon sleep. Forge something new. My name is Rick. This is Save versus BS. Like, subscribe, and do all the things. And I'll see you in the dark. And brief bonus content. I do not like digital games. I don't like online games. I've played D&D 5th edition online one time. Now, maybe I didn't give it a fair chance. It doesn't feel like the game. Not that I'm opposed to playing with strangers. I'm absolutely not. You can walk in here today and we're going to have a great game because I've never met a stranger. But online creates this wall. And this ecosystem of, digital purchases on D&D Beyond. And I understand a lot of people like the online games. I'm old and it's, I just need to change with the times. But Let's encourage our players, if they're going to do any kind of shopping, to do actual books. Let's encourage us to let's encourage our players to roll characters manually instead of a couple clicks on some website. Obviously D&D Beyond, but Deathbringer probably will have one tied in with Shadowdark, shadowdarklings.net. It's fun, it's fast. I played with it, created a few randoms just to print to have extras in case someone dies. But for player creation, for character creation, we do it right here at the table. And I really recommend that you all do that with your party. And are we gonna ever stop all this technology? No. By the time my son's my age and he inherits all this crap, he won't know what to do with it.